Good morning, friends. Welcome in this class. This is class 7, subject Social Science and Geography, chapter 3, Our Changing Earth. It is the fourth lecture of this chapter, and in today's lecture, this chapter will be summarized. So, friends, in today's lecture, the topics which are to be recalled are like these. First is that is Earth movements, endogenic forces, exogenic forces, major landforms, works of river, work of sea waves, work of ice, and work of wind. So let's we start today's discussion. Yes, friends, evolution of Earth. Yes, as we know, the Earth's crust is divided into 7 major plates, which are known as tectonic or the lithospheric plates. And these plates move around very slowly. Means these plates move because of the internal heat of the Earth. So at that time when these plates move towards each other and collide, while at times they move away from each other and forming rift on the earth. So the movement of the lithospheric plates due to interior of heat of the earth is called tectonic activities, and these are horizontal movements of the earth and which results in compression and expansion of the earth crust, and this movement is due to of two forces which are known as endogenic forces and exogenic forces. Yes, friends, endogenic forces means the forces which act inside the earth, and exogenic forces the forces which act on the outer part, or means you can say on the surface of the earth. Okay, and endogenic forces that includes two armies. Endogenic forces are of two types: sudden forces and dystrophic forces. Sudden forces that includes earthquake, volcano and landslide, and dystrophic forces means slow forces, slow movement, and the slow movement or slow forces results the building mountains. Understood? Yes, exogenic forces includes both activities, both processes, erosional and depositional, and it is done with the different agents like river, wind, sea waves and glaciers. Now we will discuss about all these endogenic and exogenic forces. Yes, first endogenic forces. It means endo means inside and genic means origin. So already I have told you means the forces which act inside the earth, and these endogenic forces sometimes produce sudden movement and at the other time produce slow movement. Sudden movement, I told you that it results earthquakes and volcanoes, and the slow movement results building of mountains. So example of endogenic forces, earthquake and volcanoes. Yes, now exogenic forces. Exogenic forces are the forces that occur on or above the Earth's surface, and these exogenic forces always lead to slow movements. And just I told that it includes erosional and depositional, means both activities. Yes, first we will have a discussion on endogenic forces, in which first is there that is volcano. Yes, friends, as we know that volcano is an opening on the earth crust, means volcano is an opening in the crust of the earth through which molten rocks, gases, ashes, steam comes out on the surface of the earth with force. Understood? And the different materials erupted by the volcanoes accumulate and form volcanic mountains. And the main part of the or activities of the volcanoes are there. First is magma chamber, vent, crater and lava flows. Yes, friends, actually what is there means the opening through which lava, steam and other materials comes out on the surface of the earth is called vent or a shaft, and the upper part of the vent is often a cup-shaped depression which is called the crater of the volcano, and the matter of the volcanoes that comes out of its mouth sometimes remains within the surface of the earth is called magma, and when it comes or reaches on the surface of the earth, at that time it is called lava. So understood about the volcanic process? Yes. Next one is there, that is earthquake. Yes, the sudden vibrations and tremor in the crust of the earth is called an earthquake. And one of the cause of the earthquake is the movement of the molten rock inside the earth crust. Okay, and in which there are the two main places. First one is focus and second is epicenter. Yes, the point on the surface of the earth right vertically above the focus is called epicenter. And what is focus? Actually the point inside the earth from where the earthquake originates, that is called focus point, and the point exactly above the focus on the earth's surface, that is called epicenter. Okay students? Yes. Next one is there, major landforms. Yes friends, as we have studied that there is always a movement in the lithospheric plates and the landscape is continuously worn away by two processes. One is weathering and next one is erosion. Yes, weathering, it is the breaking up of rocks on the earth's surface, or you can say weathering refers to the process by which the rocks exposed on the surface of the earth get broken into smaller pieces while lying at the same place. And erosion, it is the wearing away of the landscapes by different agents like water, wind and ice. Means erosion is the process by which the weathered particles are carried off from one place to another, and it may be the result of the action by rain, water, river, wind or waves. Okay, yes, now we will discuss about this major landforms. Yes, in which first is there, as I told you that many agents are there which forms different or major landforms, in which first is there, that is river. Yes, works of river. Yes friends, as we know that mainly the river is divided into three stages while flowing down from the high mountains to the plains and up to the sea or oceans. And these three stages are, first is upper course, second middle course and third one is lower course. Yes, the upper course. Actually the upper course of the river is also called or known as mountain stage. And due to this steep slopes of the mountains, the river flew at a great speed and does immense erosional work on its way. So it carries rocks, stones on its bed and develops gorges, V-shaped valleys, rapids and waterfalls also. So at some places the river makes waterfall. And what is waterfall? A waterfall is a sudden descent of a river or a stream of water over a big vertical step formed into a river bed. Means during the flow of the rivers, means when rivers that the flowing water of the river erode the soft part of the rocks at one place, that when the rivers falls from higher place to the lower place, means in the valleys, that at that time it makes waterfalls. Understood? The second activity or the second work of a river is, that is meanders. Yes friends, as the rivers enter in the plains, it twists and turns forming large bands known as meanders. Actually this type of landform is formed in the middle course or middle stage of river. Yes, this course of a river is also known as plain stage. So means in this stage the slope is not so steep as the upper course, so the speed of the river's water gradually slows down. Okay, and at this stage the river does its depositional work also, and in which it deposits the loads carried from the upper course on the banks all along its course. Means at that time, means in the middle age, when the rivers enters in the plains, then it twists and take many bands, large bands, and these large bands are known as meanders. And next one is oxbow lake. Yes, In due the course of time, the meanders loop cut off from the rivers and forms a cut-off lake, also known as Oxbow Lake, because the shape of this lake is like a bow of an ox. Yes. Next one is levees. As it floods, it deposits layers of fine soil and other materials called sediments along its bank. And this leads to the formation of fertile floodplains, and their raised banks are called levees. Actually, this is the example of depositional activities of river. Means in this stage, this is the last stage and lower course. Means this course is also known as delta stage, and in this stage the rivers flow considerably slower and merges into the sea, and at this stage it becomes further more difficult to carry the loads or sediments so it had brought with it. So it does large scale depositions of the remaining sediments at a fast speed, and the place where it deposited all this material is known as floodplains, and in which at this stage deltas is also formed, and the raised bank of these deltas are known as levees. Yes, next one is their work of sea waves. Yes, students, that sea waves also play important role in formation of landscape. Yes, and how they act. Actually, the three main things or the three main activities of the sea waves are there, land formation are there. First is sea cliff, sea caves and stacks. So how it happened, now I'll explain you. Actually, the sea waves strike at the rocks. As I told, first the steepy rocky coast rising almost vertically above the seawater. That is known as sea cliff. Means the hard rocky surface or hard rocks in the seawater is known as sea cliff. And these sea waves strike at these sea cliffs or rocks. So as a result, cracks develop which become bigger over time, and hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks, and they are called sea caves. So understood? First, in the seawater, the rocks are there, and the sea waves or the sea water continuously strike at these rocks, and as a result crack develops, and these cracks become bigger and bigger over time, and after some time the hollow like caves are formed on the rocks which are known as sea caves. Okay, and so these cavities become bigger and bigger, and a time comes when only the roof of the caves remain to form sea arches, and further erosion breaks the roof also, and only walls are left. So these walls like features are called stacks, and in this way sea caves are turned into stacks. So understood this process? First, rocks are presented in the seawater, and continuous striking downs of the sea waves at these rocks that miscreate hollow-like caves on the rocks, and these hollow-like caves become bigger and bigger, and at a time comes when only the roof of the caves remain, and which form sea arches, and further erosion in these sea arches means it breaks the roof also, and only walls are left, and these walls are known as like features are known as stacks. So in this way sea caves are turned into stacks. Next one is there, that is work of ice. Yes friends, glaciers. As we know that glaciers are the slow moving river of ice, and when these glaciers are move down and miss from higher place to the lower, so they erode the landscape, and by bulldozing or heavy particles or rock pieces of the soils and stones, and to expose the solid rocks below with them. In these materials carried by the glacier like dust particles, sand, pieces of rocks and stones, small rocks, big rocks, okay, and all these things are deposited on the layer of glacier. So this layer of these materials, deposited material of rock, sand and silt on the glacier are known as glaciers moraines. So understood about? So these are the two activities or the land formations result of the ice. One. Now the work of winds. Yes, wind students like moving air is known as wind. Yes, it also plays an important role in land formations, especially in the desert areas. Yes, as we know in desert areas, wind or the air blows with a great speed. So when it blows, then it carried down all the dust particles, sediments with it, and sometimes it is deposited on the area where the speed of the winds become slow. So in this way that the one layer or the one layer of the sand sediments are deposited over to over, and in this way hilly like structures are formed of the sand, which are known as sand dunes, and sand dunes are the common land formation features in deserts. Next one is mushroom rock. Yes friends, in deserts rock in the shape of a mushroom are very common, and these are called mushroom rocks. Actually what happened in the desert, in desert winds usually erode the lower section of the rock more than the upper part. So therefore such rocks have some types of hilly rocks or sand rocks are formed which have narrower base and wider top, which take the shape of a mushroom, and these types of rocks, sand rocks, are known as mushroom rocks. Yes. Next one is there, that is loess. When a very fine and light sand get deposited in the large area, it is called loess, and it is also found in the deserts. Means when there is a large number of sand dune in large areas, so and a great deposit of fine and light sand gets, this is known as loess. Now, in this way, our today's lecture is completed, and as a homework, you will get an assignment, and for that, you have to check the homework column in which you will get the assignment and which you have to solve. Now, we will have a look on the homework solution of lecture 3. Yes, in which first question is there, what are sand dunes? Sand dunes are low hill-like structure formed by the deposition of sand in the deserts. And how are beaches are formed? Beaches are formed when the sea waves deposit sediments along the shores of the sea. Now, this is your NCERT question. Question number 4, first part. Give reason. Some rocks have a shape of mushroom. Yes, in desert, winds usually erode the lower section of the rock more than the upper part. Therefore, such rocks have narrower base and wider top, so which take the shape of mushroom, and these types of rock are known as mushroom rocks. Next question, second part of the question number 4. Sea caves are turned into stacks. Yes, sea waves strike at the rocks, and as a result, cracks develop, which become bigger and bigger over time, and hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks. They are called sea caves, and these cavities become bigger and bigger, and a time comes when only the roof of the caves remain to form sea arches, and further erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left, and these wall-like features are called stacks. So in this way, sea caves are turned into stacks. Yes, mention the work of ice. Yes, glaciers are the rivers of ice and which erode the landscape by destroying the soil and stones to expose the solid rock below. And glaciers carve out deep hollows, and the ice melt. They get filled up with water and become beautiful lakes in the mountains. And the material carried by the glaciers such as rocks, big and small, sand and silt get deposited, and these deposits form glacial moraines. So understood? Yes, in this way our today's lecture is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with our next lecture of next chapter. Thank you.